From the early 1900s to the late 2000s, if you are a filmmaker, you had a great time. But what does it really mean to be a filmmaker in 2026? Hi, my name is Shrikant and I write, direct and edit videos. In the last 16 years, the media landscape had changed drastically. We went from using mobile phones to smartphones, which had big screens, high-speed internet and streaming videos. We also got faster computers, but without internet, they seem lifeless because so much of our work and our social interaction depends on internet. The internet blew up in 90s, and with the presence of social media, it transformed our personal and social relationships. And in 2022, with the access to artificial intelligence, with a simple prompt, you can create an image or you can write a research paper. All of this happened in the span of 15 years, and some would say that this was inevitable, that this was the tip of the iceberg that already existed long ago. For many people of my generation and my parents' generation, this feels unreal. Is it a reality or is it a fantasy? And to answer this question, what it means to be a filmmaker in 2026, we need to go back a bit. November 2008 was the time when Canon released 5D Mark II, and that was the camera that revolutionized filmmaking. It also democratized filmmaking. Someone like me who had little resources and some privilege could afford that camera and start a video production business. Gone were the days when you had to use film cameras, those big film cameras wherein you had to load a film reel that could only film a footage of 8 minutes and you cannot reuse it. The footage is printed and it's gone. So you have to purchase another reel if you want to continue filming footage. This is an expensive deal, and for someone like me and many others like me, this was impossible, not affordable and inaccessible. Because all of this is physical stuff and there is no way out. It is not digital. Canon 5D Mark II changed it all. Canon 5D Mark II was a savior. You can shoot, you can reshoot, you can delete and create space. And depending on the storage of your memory card, you can film as much footage as you want. It enabled thousands of filmmakers like me to kickstart their careers. However, distribution was still an issue. You can now make videos, but where will you distribute and monetize them? Around same time, an year ago, that is November 2007, YouTube had this policy wherein it will pay the creators some amount of money because people were watching videos on YouTube. Now people had ability to create videos but also had access to a distribution platform which was free, and it also allowed them to make money. With reluctance and hesitation, a lot of filmmakers actually went on it and created content. But the interesting part is, they were not just filmmakers, there were also people who were non-professionals like truck drivers, homemakers, students, people who were working at corporate offices who started creating videos. For them, they were unaware of the filmmaking language or the filmmaking theory. People still used the video production tools like camera or sound recording devices or the video editing softwares to create these videos. So there was a lack of filmmaking language, but storytelling in some format still existed. So the format kept evolving. But in 2022, OpenAI made ChatGPT publicly available. Now, with prompting, people can get articles created or written. They could also get images created for them, and soon they also started making videos using those images. This is another level, and I don't need to tell you how AI works because probably you already know that, but it still begs the same question: what does it mean to be a filmmaker in 2026? My friend from China, he has an interesting perspective. He thinks that history is repeating itself and there is a pattern. So when Canon 5D was released, this tool or this technology was made available to a broader set of audience and consumers. He thinks this is no different. Even AI is enabling a lot of filmmakers to create films the way they want. So far, only the big studios and the corporates could make films like Star Wars, Avatar, or the superhero films. But now folks like you and me, with a computer setup and a decent internet connection, can make these films. Now, of course, this is going to negatively affect a lot of film professionals like actors or cinematographers or even music composers, because their job can be done using AI. But film directors anyway delegate their vision to others to get films made. So this is no different. Filmmakers now delegate and use instructions and prompting to get their films made using AI. I agree with this perspective, but I am also very cautious about AI because of its moral and ethical implications, not just on film industry, but also on the climate change. So here is my take. The filmmakers and the storytellers still hold an important position in the society, and they need to embrace AI to some extent if they want to sustain and survive as creative professionals. Because the new technology is available and accessible, it is allowing you to make films which you would have not made otherwise. And because they are well aware of film language, because they are well equipped with the film theory as well as the tenets of filmmaking, they are in a better and a superior position of creating compelling stories and film projects compared to the general public who is using AI just to make cat videos or what they called as AI slop. The professionals, the film professionals, have an upper hand. They can use their on-ground experience to make better films. I'm excited, but I'm also cautious, and I'll be experimenting with AI. Like, if you have seen my previous videos, I'll be making my first short film using AI this year. What is your take? Are you a purist or are you going to embrace AI? If you are going to embrace AI, to what extent you will be integrating it in your workflow? Share your thoughts, and if you have watched this video so far, thank you so much for your time. Take care, and I'll see you next week.